This year, we read pieces that relate to some psychologists' theories. They are Abraham Maslow, Sigmund Freud, Lawrence Kohlberg, and Howard Gardner. First, Abraham Maslow. His theory focused on 5 main human needs, which are psychological, safety, love and belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. All of these things focus on individualism. Maslow would often talk about being yourself and staying yourself. This relates to the story Anthem. In Anthem, the moral of the story is all about being yourself. The story is mostly about Equality 7-2521, who is very smart, but is commanded to be a street sweeper. He struggles on being individual because he is put in a society where he can't be individual and you can't be yourself. In the end, we learn how individuality and human ego is the most holy thing that exists. Next is Sigmund Freud. He talked more about the unconscious mind and not thinking and just acting instead. He said the goal is to make the unconscious conscious. I think that this means on just not really thinking and just acting on something and just making like the unconscious mind like come to life and be conscious and just do what you think. I relate his theory to the Odyssey. The moral of the Odyssey is restoration of honor, even though it might cause some damage. This is meaning of more thinking and then act now and think later. And even though you know like it might cause some damage, you still like do it just because. I think of this theory as almost like going with your gut. And I think that this theory is pretty much just like if you think now and then you'll act later, then that's like how it should be. Next, we have Lawrence Kohlberg. His theory is all about doing the correct things and having the right morals. He says that if you have correct morals, then you are doing the right thing. I relate this to Streetcar Named Desire, because in the story Streetcar Named Desire, they talk about how pretty much lying is bad and you shouldn't lie because it gets you nowhere, which was shown throughout the story with all the times that she lied and got in trouble later on in the book because they found out that she was lying. In Streetcar Named Desire, they talk about how pretty much lying will get you nowhere in life and you should just treat people how you want to be treated. So I relate this to Lawrence's theory because his theory is more about like doing the right things. So if you do the right things, then you know that you're doing like your morals are okay. So pretty much lastly is Howard Gardner, and he talks about how there's different parts to human intelligence, and I decided to relate this to Oedipus Rex because in that story, tragedy is split into like different parts, and those parts would be the tragic setting, the atmosphere, tragic character, hamartia, tragic plot, and tragic flaw. So pretty much he split up his like theory into different parts, like not just like intelligence wasn't just like one broad thing. He pretty much split it into more like specific things to make it like the whole thing of intelligence. And that's pretty much what they did in Oedipus Rex with tragedy, because they split it up into all these different like things, like 7 different like tiers, because in the story like tragedy wasn't just like this one big thing. Like it was more like the whole story was about tragedy, so they had to like break it up into different things so that they could show how it really was tragedy. And that's the same with his theory, because like he's saying that intelligence isn't just like one thing. Like you have to have like different tiers to your intelligence to make it like one big thing. And so that's pretty much all of these psychologists theories relate to the books that we've read this year. And I think the one that was most true was Lawrence Kohlberg's, because his is just like talks about the morals. So like if your morals are right, then you're trying to do the right thing, and I agree with him the most. So